Okay, so we're gonna give this a try. I even put a microphone on the top, but I don't have a great microphone. Clearly, I still don't have really a good setup to do stuff here. My floor is just sitting on carpet, so it's not like I can actually dance on this. This little floor behind me is the only hard spot I have, aside from like my kitchen floor, which is where I've kind of been doing at least a little balancing and things like I did yesterday. So it's been a while since we've talked about pointe shoes, and I thought I would go through some with you guys, kind of go through my process here. So if you haven't caught up on my last stuff, basically we just got married and moved into this house, and we are going to be basically spending the next however many years it takes, which it might be 4 or 5 years, paying off my student loans as fast as we can. So because of that, taking class in person and buying pointe shoes and dance wear, all that stuff is kind of on the back burner for a while. So I tried to stock up on a lot before we got married just to be ready, which is why I have an extra basket of pointe shoes that are unsewn and everything. They are mostly freeds, so you know there's that. We all know freeds don't really last, which is why I have multiple options. And with that, again, like this room eventually is going to become a ballet space. So in theory, I wouldn't have to go to a studio to get classes because I would have a space here. There isn't a lot near me out where we live now. I don't live near Cincinnati Ballet anymore, but because we're off on Monday, Brad has offered to drive me downtown to take a class there because they're doing the free adult classes this coming week, which I'm really excited about because I have not gotten to take a class there since they opened the new studio space. And I really loved it when I did take class there, but I don't live near there anymore, and I have really bad driving anxiety, so trying to get me there is not easy. So I'm going to do that on Monday. That'll be the first class I've taken in person in almost a year. Well, okay, no wait, if you don't count the Salt Lake trip. I kind of keep forgetting because that's not my normal. I did take in-person classes in Salt Lake, obviously, you guys know that. But anyway, so I'm really excited about that. Eventually the plan is we are going to put hard floor in this room, pull up the carpet and put down hard floor, and this will be my ballet space, which will be wonderful once we get to that point. It's just not an option right now. Other things are kind of a priority, like putting a shower in our master bathroom, and that's kind of a really big one and a big expense. So that's why this, even though this would be a inexpensive thing to do, we don't really know enough about doing it. It's not something we can really bite off right now. So maybe by the end of 2023, it kind of just depends. I'm hoping before then, but we'll just have to wait and see how the next year pans out, and I'll just have to kind of work with what I have till then. I really miss doing ballet and doing classes, but I'm working with what I've got right now. So let's get into the pointe shoes and we'll talk more about them. So basically what you can see behind me, I have 3 bins. The bin you've all seen for years, which is mostly old dead pointe shoes. There are some in there that I just can't really wear. There are styles that didn't work for me, or sizes that didn't work for me, or shoes that I never fully killed, but they weren't the best shoe for me. So I do have some in there that in theory I could try and use. They just aren't the best for me. Then we have the bin closest to my mirror, which that's the biggest fancy mirror I could buy. I wish I had waited and found out about the one that's at Sam's Club because I'd rather have that one. That's why it's on a basket, because that's all I got. But next to that we have my basket of pointe shoes that I am currently going through right now. So there's a lot there. But a lot of those are also close to dead because they were shoes I was wearing last year when I was in class and even the year before. A lot of them are basically at the point where I can't glue them anymore, and some of them are at the point where they need to be glued now to last a little longer. So I'll go through those, kind of like I did in the other video, but I'll give you a little bit more on that. And then this bin over here is obviously all ones in bags because they are unsewn, unbroken in, anything. And you guys know that that's kind of like my stress relief, is breaking in a new pair of pointe shoes and sewing them. I love doing that, but I think part of what I'm having a hard time with wanting to do that right now is not having that space to dance in them once I've done that. I don't feel motivated in my kitchen, I just don't. So that's why I did a little bit yesterday, but not much. It's just a lot to try and take like a mirror into there and try and set things up in there, and like it's just, and that's downstairs too. So it's also not a space I could really take my mat down to and everything. And that's the other thing, it's hard floor, so it's slippery without my mat. So I've pretty much only been wearing the Gaynors when I'm in there because they're a little more grippy. But yeah, let's go through my little boxes here. I'm not gonna go through the big box. I might, whenever we finally get a floor in, my goal is to redo some of the videos I've done in the past, but as more experience now going through the different brands and what I've learned from them and what I've liked from them, because over the last, let's see, I restarted in 2015 or 2016. And even then, it took me probably till about 2018, 2019 to feel like I was really improving and doing well with my dancing. And in that time, my feet changed so much that my needs for shoes changed a lot too, which is partly why we have this. Also, as an adult, you can try shoes easier than as a kid where you need your parents to buy them for you. If I had my own money, I could try different shoes. Yeah, so, and I like doing that. I like the experimentation of it. I got a lot more of that when I worked at the dance store for a little bit, because I was like, oh, I can try on all these shoes without needing to buy them and take them home. So that was nice. But I know for me personally, it really takes actually breaking in the pointe shoes to see how they work on my feet. Just getting a pair straight out of the bag, like you've seen me put some of them on, they do not always look good on me. Most of the time they don't. Because my feet need more, which is why we break the pointe shoes in. My feet are different than other people's feet, so I need to do things like breaking the shank and squishing the box. Most people squish the box, but breaking the shank is definitely, like at the arch, is definitely a big one for me. Until I do that, shoes kind of look very straight because I don't have the best feet. I still don't. I haven't done much to improve that. And my husband has the best feet, and it's not fair. But, so let's go through these now. So, oops, the ones I was wearing yesterday. And I also have a spare kit of perfect fit inserts for whenever mine fall apart, which is nice because I also was planning for that too. I do have this pair that I did more recently, but they seem to only work in my gainers. Like they're almost too thick. So I've been wearing them when I wear the gainers, which is why I keep them with them. Let's pull these up here. I was gonna try some on for you guys, but I feel like that's really hard to do with this limited space. So probably not today. But if that's something you guys really want to see, then just let me know and I can always film that. I do often share a lot more on my TikTok and Instagram than I do on YouTube because this just takes me a lot longer to film these. And I feel like vertical videos show things like that better, but you know. So anyway, I think there might be a couple more gainers in my closet. Like the gainers are not even in there. Those are in my closet in a bag. Because gainers don't really die. I have a pair that's pretty worn down though, and that was my original pair. Don't know what that's a string for. But anyway, these are the pair I've been wearing for a while, and I think these are the same size as that original pair, maybe. These are USA made. These are a classic 7.5, narrow, 4-box, sleek, deep vampire heel. And these work pretty well for me. I will say that I personally do with gainers, I don't roll through them well, which is why they just don't work for me. Like these look really nice on my feet. I can't move my feet through them well because I don't have super flexible mobile feet. So because of that, if I want to wear these, which I do take these on vacations where it's gonna be humid, like when I want to do a class out like on the balcony when we were in Florida and things, I take these for that reason. But I do soften up here. Now I have done it with both water and with rubbing alcohol, and it just helps make them more mold to my feet. I also have the little box liners. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this. I have the little box liners in there because gainers still just don't fit my feet well. They just don't. So these are the pair I wear the most to practice in right now. I have 2 pairs of unsewn ones in here. I also just love how unsewn ones look. They look pretty. So if I'm just doing balances and stuff, sometimes I might just throw these on because it's easier. This is my other pair of unsewn USA made ones, which is partly why I'm holding on to them because you can't get them anymore. It's interesting. The little toe thing fell out of this one. The little square that sits in the toe. Whoop. Okay. I don't know how that got out of there. Anyway, these are literally the exact same shoe as these. They are the exact same shoe size. These are just a new unsewn pair that are only slightly beat up, and I didn't do anything to the, so you can kind of see where they kind of warp a little bit. These kind of get looking a little funny there, and these haven't had that happen yet because I haven't done really anything to them. I haven't had to use the alcohol or water on them yet, so those are there. And then the European ones I got in the Pianissimo, and they are still not good. Now, Emma Matthews is a dancer with State Street Ballet. I followed her on TikTok, and she showed me this hack where and I posted a video about it, where you use a hair dryer. I might have shared it on here too, but I know I shared it on my TikTok and Instagram. You use a hairdryer, you get your shoe really wet, and use a hairdryer to basically form it to your feet. Now I have noticed they do eventually, over time, not quickly, over time they kind of go back to how they were. So she actually recommended that now she's discovered that rubbing alcohol works even better. I have not done that on these shoes yet, so I probably will be. But these are a classic 7.5 narrow 4-box pianissimo low vamp high heel. And the funny thing is that doesn't really look like a low vamp. It looks like literally the same. That's why I don't understand whenever I order low vamps, I'm like, they look the same. I literally don't see a difference in the vamp because I have short toes. So I like a good low vamp, but whenever I ordered that with Gaynors, it's like almost not even worth it. I did order custom on these also because I didn't want the suede tip that comes on them. I've had it before and I don't like it, which ironically now that I'm using hardwood floors probably wouldn't be bad. I have one old pair, but they're a 3-box and they're so narrow they're hard to dance in, so I probably won't pull those out to try that out. We'll see. And yes, I know you can add them to your shoes, but I don't like them normally. Like on this, they're awful. I don't like that. Okay, so now we're gonna go through my main box of shoes. I just, you know, my very, very beat up Perfect Fit pads. I always add a little tape to the bottom of them because for me personally, that one makes them feel better because I have super sensitive toes, but it also makes them last longer and not get holes in them. Okay, this pair I have not worn much yet because I love these. This is my Suffolk's Sonnet. The size I wear is hard to find unless you get it. Like a lot of times I find my sizes for shoes on eBay and stuff, which helps me get them cheaper, or on sale sites. Not these, because I wear a 4.5 double XN, which is a very weird size. So you can see that. So that's what my Suffolk's are. I haven't done like anything to these other than sewn them, and I wore them I think a couple times, maybe in Salt Lake, but not much because I took my more beat up ones at the time, which are now done. I just put them over there in the pile because I glued them so much to the point that now I can't really wear them. But these are the best. I think in here I also have, well, maybe not. Might actually put those in the other bin too because I also have Suffolk's in a 4.5 X. I need to look. I know where they are. They're right here. Oop, that's a good pair. These. They're like brand new. So I probably should keep them in this box. These are just a 4.5 X. It's just the double XN. It's not quite a double X, so they're not as wide as a double X because I tried that and I sink really bad. I had a few like that. But these are so narrow that I feel like I can't move my feet as well. The double XN is just the perfect width for me personally. So I have these, and I have another pair of these in the Sunstone box too, because for a while I was wearing these until I discovered the double XN size. So I can wear these if I have to, they just don't work as well with my feet. Again, feet have changed. I've discovered different things that work better for me. That's what happens over time. Even as an adult, these things happen. Your feet change, your feet get better. Sorry, I keep looking at the screen and not at the lens, but I'm really bad about that. I'm trying to keep making sure things are in focus. Okay, so now let's get to the next brand in here. So I have a couple brands for a reason. Again, Freeds I love. They look great, they feel great, they're just beautiful. And it's funny because I used to hate them when I first got them because I wasn't fit properly and I was guessing. I was fit and then I used that fitting to guess and I didn't realize how different the different types and makers and all that. They are complicated. And my size is really hard to find. Well, my maker is really hard to find. I wear a 4XX fish in the classic deep vamp. That's what I was fit in when I was in Freed's store in London in 2019. And I bought 3 pairs when I was there because they were so much cheaper to buy there. And then I just had them. But it's been hard to find them ever since. And you know, you get shoes from Freed, you can't really get your maker unless you are wearing like customs. You can't get your maker. You just say, this is my preferred one. And every single time they've sent me someone different. So I'm like, okay, cool. So anyway, but that's why I have other brands like Gaynors and Suffolk's in here because I'm trying to make things last for the next few years. And my Freeds will not last. Most of these Freeds in this bin are already getting close to not being good anymore as it is. So this pair is basically almost dead, but I got into wearing the Bloch Heritage Strong. Now I wore the Bloch Heritage for a while back because, you know, it has the V-cut vamp and it's a more tapered shoe because Blochs I generally don't look good in. And I wear a 5X. Come on, stop focusing on my face. And these, I actually also, as you can see, I darned the tips as well because for me on these with them being such a narrow platform, that really helped. And obviously I've also glued them like I normally would, and I scored the bottoms. These are getting really dead, but I tried them on like last year or 2 years ago, and I went, wow, these actually look and feel really nice if I break them in right. So, you know, I have a new pair of those here too, so that I can sew these when I need to. So they probably should be in that bag. I don't know why I've done things the way I did. Yeah. But, and I also have an unsewn pair of the regular Heritage, which are fine, but now I'm so used to the strong that they feel so weak and unsupportive when I put them on. So, you know, if we're just doing bar and stuff, that's fine. All right, now let's get to the Freeds. So starting off, we have, this is actually a newer pair that I have not really worn much. I wore them in Salt Lake, but barely. So this is Q Maker, and it's a 4XX. And I did darn them. I have not glued this pair yet. They have these ribbons on that I don't like, but this was just what I had. They're like the little papery, stretchy ones. I don't love those. And then as you can see, I still do my little, the like moleskin over this because that makes it feel much better on my heels. So I have these. These are still good. I just had to redo a little bit of sewing on the darning because I must have messed it up. I must not have done it right the first time because it wasn't a great job. So we got those. I have recently been wearing more of the Classic Pro 90s. I can't wear a Classic Pro because it's got the pitched platform, and I can't do that. I need a very flat platform. My feet are not archy enough for that. I have not the ankle of mobility for that. But these are a 4XX R Maker Classic Pro 90. Now the only thing about the Classic Pro 90s that I don't like, and why is my screen the sun keeps changing. This is not helping, guys. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can change it from here. Maybe that might be too bright for you, sorry. The only thing I don't like about the Classic Pro 90s is that they come with the, as you can see, the elastic drawstring, which is not my favorite. It kind of hurts my feet, so I prefer a regular drawstring personally, but I really like how these shoes look on me, and maybe it is the elastic drawstring that just makes them look nicer and tighter, I don't know, but I really like these. I need to start going faster, I'm sorry. These were someone else's customs. These are a Anchor Maker 4XX, and you can see the customizations that she had done on the bottom of the shoe here. So not my customizations at all. This is someone else's. I don't know why it keeps not focusing. My face isn't there. Okay, these I have not glued yet, and I didn't realize I hadn't glued these. So I could glue these and make them last longer because they are starting to feel a little soft, especially in the rest, like in the, mine tend to go soft in the wings really bad, like in this part of the shoe. The tip does, which is why I darn mine too, it helps with that. But especially in the wings, I tend to have to glue my wings a little down in the sides to give more support on the sides. This is another pair of someone else's customs. These are definitely getting close. These are, so these are someone else's customs, and these are Star Maker. These are 4XX again, Classic Pro 90s. These are definitely, like I've glued them, these are definitely getting there. Now I do actually really like this Freed elastic, but it does come off easier. So I have been using more recently, it's on some of my other shoes here when I get to them, maybe, yeah, this pair. Well, it's like it's on my blocks. I've been using the stretch elastic actually, which I used to hate that mesh elastic, and now I love it. Funny how things change. All right, these are, R Maker is my other favorite. This is probably my second favorite maker. And these definitely are gluing to the last point of their life. They're getting very soft. And yeah, so these are just normal standard ones that I got from Freed. These are another person's customs, maybe? Yes. These are so beat up I can't even tell anymore. These are ones that I definitely can't really wear much anymore. I have really worn these ones down now. Which is the nice thing, you know, someone else's customs don't work for them, but they work for me. And I loved how my feet looked in all of these, so that works great for me. Now the last two in this box, and I'm holding on to them. These are the last two of my 3 pairs from London. Yes, I made them last that long because I've been like not using them much. And they're getting to that point where I've glued them so much, they really don't work much anymore. But these are my 4XX Fish Maker Classic Deep Vamp. And I love them. They're very squishy and soft now, and they're the exact same pair here. Same pair. I'm just trying to hold on to them, and that's all that's in this. So the rest is all like foot tools and flat shoes. So So we'll put these back in here, and now I'll go through the bin full of my new shoes with you guys. I feel like this just gives a better example of why I use the shoes I do and things. Even though I know I kind of did that short one the other day, this is a little, I feel like, easier to follow. Okay. So, to start off, we have, it's mostly Freeds, and then I probably will put this pair of Blochs in here because that just makes sense. This is a 4XX Heart Maker Deep Vamp. I don't remember if these work well for me or not. A lot of these I got from a lady who owns a shop in England and sells them very inexpensively when she has extras or people's customs. That's how I've gotten a lot of my Freeds. It's from the Pointe Shoe Exchange Facebook group. But it's getting harder and harder to find my size and stuff because I think a lot of people have needed them. So I can't remember if these work. That's why I end up with a lot of the makers, or because Freed just sends me whatever they want. Also learned I'm never ordering from Discount Dance again because you don't even get to select it all, and they send you literally like defective shoes. So sorry, at least for Freeds. These are newer ones, I think. These are Maltese Cross Classic Pro 90s, my 4XX. These are from Freed's website. When I asked for fish and got not my fish, but we're gonna try them anyway. Same with this pair, was also from Freed, and this is 4XX Shield Maker and just a classic Deep Vamp because I wanted one of each, Classic Pro 90 and one of Deep Vamp. So got those. These are a 4XX Maltese Cross in the I didn't even realize these were a V-cut. That'd be interesting. These are a deep Vamp wing. Interesting. See if it'll let me. So they've got, I don't know if you can even see it in here, but they definitely have a little narrower top to them. That would be interesting. Oh, let's see. Okay, these are a 4.5X fish, just because I really love fish, and these were inexpensive, but I never liked these. I bought these a long time ago, because you can see I actually darned the tips already, and they're very narrow compared to my fish. They're just, I don't have them out, but they're very narrow. So they can vary between shoes too. And these were the awful Discount Dance ones that we'll see. They are Y Maker. They just felt like awful when I put them on. And I don't know if it's just the maker doesn't work for me, but they feel almost like they're defective. Like they're not quite made right is what they feel like to me. That's just my opinion. So, let's see that. So, these are all my Freeds that I have for now. And then I have two more pairs in here. I have Suffolks. So these are my Sonnets. I have that one other size that I don't really wear anymore, but I still have them to use. So it's a 4.5X. I don't know if you can see that. And then I have my beloved 4.5 XXNs that you can't get very easily. Oh, now of course it's getting super bright. Okay, so anyway, so now you can see those are what I've got, and then this bin is just full of random dance stuff like magazines and notebooks from back when Pointe magazine was still a thing, because oh my gosh, this is driving me nuts. Guys, I'm sorry. Okay, but yes, I'll put all these back in here. So that is what I have for the next few years, and that's the explanation of why. If you have any more questions or thoughts on this, like, just let me know. But like I said, my plan is to do more of these Pointe Shoe videos. I'm just struggling for space right now because it's just hard to do stuff in the kitchen. So I'd rather wait until I have the space in here to do it when this is fully my ballet room, like it will be eventually. So we'll get there. But that's where I'm at right now. I'm really excited to actually take a class on Monday. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll try and see if I can get any filming or anything done. But I don't know how busy it's going to be, and it's been so long, and I haven't been to that studio that I'm kind of like, I don't know the setup of where to put my things and set things up, so we'll see how that goes. But that's all I have for today.